Brothers, sisters, and my dear friends out there. You're listening to the Career Directions. If you're a young student or an aspirant professional looking out to enter into the HR profession or trying out to break through the opportunities of the HR profession, this episode is 100% for you. If you think this show helps you, do give us a like and follow us. And if this show is more relevant to your friends or family members, please do share with them so that they can reach out to their dreams a little faster. And today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Deepak, with the 13 plus years of experience with the HR as an operational specialist. We'll get to know more about Deepak's profession when we speak about him. And welcome to the show, Mr. Deepak.
Hi, this is Deepak here. Thank you for hosting me to the show.
And along with me, I have Mr. Richard, around 20 plus years of experience with music. And welcome to the show, Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you for calling me this for this show, and I'm very glad to have Mr. Deepak for knowing a lot of insights about what is HR today, and I hope it will be helpful for our future students or co friends, everyone.
Yes. And myself, I'm Vijay. I'm the host of today's show. And if you want to know more about me, you could go to the bio and you could find my LinkedIn profile and you could know more about my professional careers there. Let's go to the show. Deepak, to start with the episode, just let us know what is your daily life looks like.
My HR profession would look like in the morning with my team. I'll have the first catch up. So once I get in, I manage around a 12-member crew. So who is a fantastic team, who are moral support for my entire growth and the success of our team. So at the morning we plan all our work. So we just check in the inflow, how many mails and how many cases we have received, and accordingly we'll just divide it among the available team members. So and also we just discuss about if there is any backlog for the day, so that we can give a better experience to the employees. So this is what the first thing we start up with the team. So we as a team strongly believe in planning our works, and the next step is most importantly working a plan. My routine checks related to my work and guiding my team members, and that's what my day will go through like.
Can you explain what is a HR profession and what are you into exactly?
Through one of my friend, I just got an opportunity for a HR job. So that's when my HR career started with my current company. So the interview went well, and I was just hired as a base level, the starting level analyst job in my HR profession, where I was also having not much of an idea, because HR for me, it's like the front end. So they just have a wonderful day. So they come in the front office, sit in the reception, receive the persons, and they more have a cool and a jolly life is what I thought when I was just seeing the HR profession. But when I get into the work, the HR world was completely different. So basically, for a layman, HR is always a word where we say it to the others. They consider us as recruiting, and they will just pass on the resume to us, so that can I get hired, or can I just get hired in your company? So this is the first thing that comes to everybody's mind. But HR is not only recruiting, there is a lot at the back actually. So basically, we can just divide HR into two things. So HR recruiting and HR operations. So HR recruiting is basically involves in hiring a person, that is on the layman terms, getting the interview and once done. So HR operations actually starts from the day one of your resume getting into the office, from the interview scheduling, from smooth onboarding. So once your resume get to the company's profile, so we just screen the resume, so which can be fitting for the current role, and we just pass on to the recruiters. So the recruiters will go ahead and schedule the interview, and then they will pass on to the business. So these are the selected profiles, so can you go ahead and hire them? So post that, the business will also conduct interviews for the candidates who have been shortlisted, and their profiles will be given to the first step called as onboarding team. So HR operations starts from the starting of the resume. given to a candidate actually. So once the onboarding team receives the resume, they start up the work of hiring or onboarding the person to the company, starting from each and it starts from a base call to the employee. So in terms to the salary discussion or what is their salary expectations, so those things starts from there, and they get the certificates, and they do the background verification steps. So once after onboarding, the certificates and the all the relevant documents are passed to the background screening team. So basically they're called as BGV team. So once the background verification gets done and your screening is through, so that we get a good report, that we basically call it as a green report. So all your certificates are not manipulated ones. So we just take up all the candidates whose details are perfect, and when then they will pass on to the data management team. So basically, the data management team, what they will do is they will go ahead and input all your details into company system, basically like your name, your date of birth, your qualification, your you're working, so how many years you've been working with which all the companies you've been working with. So all those data gets fed into the system, and post then we ask first the candidate actually when you would like to join the company. So basically according to their input, we just create the start date or the hire date for the employee, and we fed into the system, and then we pass on to the profile to the first day setup of the candidates. So they will personally call those people because they don't have any interaction with the company other than the recruiter. So we just basically give an idea. So we are the onboarding team. So first day setup team. So you will get this day cab and you can come at this day and you can come and meet a manager. So they will receive you. So once the candidate comes as an employee to office in the first day, with that, the HR operation doesn't stop. So the HR operations even goes beyond that. So we'll just check in whether his salary details, all accounts are all being created. And after the first weeks, they will be scheduled for induction where the candidates will be given an insight of what the company is, what their department is, who are all their CEOs, COOs of the company, and what the company actually does. And if they have any doubts, they can go ahead and clear it and to abide with the compliance. So we give all the informations to the candidate in the induction, which typically takes around 2 to 3 days of classroom training. They will get more knowledge about the company, and on the from the fourth day, they get into the office and they have a kickstart to the work. So that's how an employee gets onboarded to the company, and we as HR operations take care of all these things. So this is with related to the onboarding of the candidate. And in the course of the time when he's working with the company, he has any doubts related to any policy or anything, he can just reach out to the HR operations teams. They can raise up the query in through a call, through chat, through an email, so that a dedicated team will respond to them accordingly. And after a candidate period is over with the company and he wants to join another company or gets retired from the company with related to his resignation letter, service certificate, and his full and final settlement. So all these things are being taken care by the HR operations team. So typically a HR operation starts from the day one of the employee and continue with the employee till the last day of the office. So this is what the HR operations, in a brief, we can just put it in a nutshell.
That's a great explanation, Mr. Deepak. But Deepak, just curious about this, right? You just said the HR operations. Is that you start from a guy who is shortlisted and help him to put into the company, and do you also monitor him throughout the progress? Because HR, in my assumptions, the HR, they also have some administrations works like the salary. They need to put it, ensure that it goes into the account, and they have some tax and some PF, which is also related with this. Does that falls under your radar, how that works?
Yeah, definitely that too falls under per se. So what does the HR actually oversees is once the candidate is onboarded, not all employees would have a rosy day every day. Suppose to create a good work culture, we make sure the safety of the women employees, male employees are also taken care by the HR team. Suppose if there is any challenges which the employees face, roughly we would say in layman terms, like employees get harassed, so they can address it to the HR team. So we will go ahead and schedule, and the first thing that we do is we make sure that it is confidential, so something so the employees can have a feel that, like, suppose if I'm going to escalate this matter to HR, will I be targeted by my senior people, or will I be get targeted from the my manager? So those things and all, we clearly make sure that doesn't happen. We make the compliant or the escalation very very confidential, and we just make sure that it is a transparent investigation goes on, so that we just find the root cause of the issue, and first thing we try to address it. So if it is not like there is, we find something needs to be fine tuned, that somebody needs to be addressed on that, so we involve the other teams like employee relations team, who can just address the managers if there is really issue that they have just raised their voice to harass their employees. And we just make sure that the problem is resolved, so that they can continue their work without any backlogs or carrying anything in the back, so that it holds a good healthy work life relationship. So there also HR plays a typical role. And like you said, for the salary thing, so there is a dedicated team called as payroll team for each company actually, so they also come under HR operations. As well as with the PF, there is a dedicated team called as benefits team with each company, which also falls under the radar of HR operations. So definitely, yeah, for those also fall under the radar of HR.
Great, Deepak. But in short, you're the peoples who make the positive environment in the organization, right? Whenever we say there's like a lot of workloads or the work pressure, but of course the HR in the background ensuring that we are having this positive environment in the office dignity where you can have this good vibes, right?
Definitely. So there is always a saying in the HR world actually. Any company, or even if it is a two-member company or 2 lakh member company, there will be definitely one team called as HR operations, HR, human resource department, because even one employee gets onboarded, there will be definitely one person who has been taken care of that onboarded employee. So any company's base branch or the root of the company, we would say, is HR, human resource.
Deepak, it was a very good explanation right from the beginning. Let me come directly to the question. So, how to become an HR and what are the responsibilities a student or a fresher who's graduated freshly should possess to become an HR?
Yeah, definitely. That's a wonderful question. So I will take the example from my end itself. So for a 12th standard guy, a student who was just passing out and who wanted to pursue his career with HR, the first thing I would tell is get into a degree. It could be arts and science degree, or people right now they get into engineering degree as well. So it doesn't matter actually, because some people will tell, suppose if you hold an engineering degree, so you won't fit into HR profession. So that's not in the current world. It has been changed a lot actually. So when you just finish your 3 years or 4 years degree, professional degree, you can just start with the HR profession through first option that is currently available for the students would be definitely the campus placement. So but if you're not getting placement, because not the majority of the populations get placed through campus recruitment, and it doesn't stop their dream at that stage, I strongly believe actually over there. So they can just go ahead and pursue their PG with MBA. MBA has a specialization with human resources as well if they would like to study. Or else the government has given a wonderful opportunity. So currently 5% of any organization should have a fresher. So that's a wonderful initiative by our government actually. So there is something called as Ministry of Education website, where he can just go ahead and enroll his resume. The candidate should be a fresher, so experienced persons will not have an opportunity over there. So it opens a broader door for the students actually. So that is called as NATS portal. They can go ahead and fill in their details. It has just ask for a basic details with your resume, what on the course you have been just finished off. and there they can go ahead and choose actually which department they want to work for or what specialization. So there they can go ahead and choose for HR operations, and it is definitely they will get a call. Actually, it's not like the other websites, though it is directly managed by the government of India under the PMO's office. So that has been taken care. That's one of the great initiatives that. So this is one of the great ways that they can kickstart their career with HR. And another thing is a lot of prestigious institutions like IIT, XLRI. So they actually who are specialized LIBA, for example, from South India. So Loyola and Xavier's XLRI and Pitts Pilani, Christ University. So a lot of universities, big companies actually go ahead and get into placement, campus placement for them. So there they can go ahead and opt out for HR operations where they wanted to choose. And so these two would be the open choices. And once, suppose if they wanted started a career with some other department or some other field, actually, if they wanted to choose HR profession, it is definitely possible. I'm being one of the examples for that actually. So within your 1 or 2 years, if you wanted to switch, so you can. One of the handy items that we have available right now would be the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn and Naukri. So there they can go ahead and choose on their preferences for HR. So they are actually looking for potential candidates. Only thing we need to make sure that our heads are being seen from everywhere. Actually, a lot of AI tools just gives us more vast opportunities where we can make a crisp resume and just give it to us. So the recruiters just picks actually. They are actually looking for the candidates. So getting a job is not at all difficult, but where we just sow our seeds is more important. So candidate, if they go ahead and choose it on the best websites for a fresher part, definitely they will get through. So the three options would be like the Ministry of Education, NATS portal. Then if you're just finishing your school, joining to premier institutions, from there definitely you will get placed into premier companies. Actually, career starts as an intern from a company, and they can even become CEOs. Actually, there are a lot of companies with that example, people who have joined basic intern. Now they, after down the lane in just 20-25 years, they will become the CEO of the company, and it's a real great privilege for them to hire candidates like that. So companies actually look for great talents, people with a lot of potential. So these three are the options currently available right now.
Really impressed about the whole thing which you have taken us through, right? But the key points I can take from here is that education background isn't much important that you look into when you're stepping into the HR career, right? Because as you said, people's from engineering background and people's from the arts background, they are still eligible to get into the HR as a professional. That's very good to
Definitely.
know. And also you explained about the government initiatives are encouraging the new people who are stepping out of the college and they want to get into a new job. And I really appreciate these initiatives from the government.
So, holding on to the point, so a person who wants to get into the field, should he be very good about the people, in reading the people, the mind of the people, the mental health of the people, or goodness of the organization, or the skills of a particular person? So, what do the companies need from the candidates?
Yep, just to add on along with that, Deepak, my experience when I was onboarded to some international companies, my HR, they had a special round to analyze your behavior with the peoples, right? So I see that the HR has been a key person who's determining how you behave with the other employees. This has becoming a mandate requirement nowadays in the field in the fast growing market, right? So I also assume that the HR needs to have some special skills. Could you also explain about that to Mr. Deepak?
Definitely. So that's one of the wonderful questions. The first thing as an HR profession, I would look for it is whether the student who has passed out have the willingness to work. And more importantly, more than skill, will is what we're just looking it for. So once you have that will to pursue a career in your HR, so definitely everything will fall in place. We might have a lot of other things running in our mind, and there could be an employee relations case where we have to solve the two parties actually arguments. So at that time, we should just step out our shoes, actually, whatever we have from our personal things, and we just get into the shoes of HR. So this kind of mentality not only gives us more energy to work at that place, but also solves the companies or the organization's problem at that time, and we are just creating a better atmosphere to work actually. And skill actually comes through course of work, actually comes in due course. So each and every case or each and everything in a HR thing will teach you something. So definitely you can solve any problem from HR seat. You have that authority, so just have it like a cakewalk, though it is still a very hard day actually. So you can make the hard day into a very cakewalk. So that's where the HR role lives in.
Good, Deepak. So we understand that a person should possess the willingness and to work on whatever situation it is and however it is the person handles every day. So what is the hierarchy of an HR profession? So what is the entry level and what is the maximum height? So what are the levels of moving forward?
So basically, when you are a fresher joining the organization, you will be considered as a graduate, trainee, or an intern. So once the internship, mostly in most of the companies, will be from 6 months to 1 year period, and from there they become a professional. So once they get promoted, they will be called as analysts. In each company, the terminology differs. So level one would be analyst, and next level two would be process supervisor. We would say in the local language of our organization. So all the process supervisors and the analyst will get reported to a team manager. So basically, TL is a very common term in all the organizations actually. So TLs will get reporting to senior manager. In few organizations, they call it as AVP role, and senior managers will report to VP of an organization. So
Okay.
VP will be vice president, and once VP gets promoted, he will get reported to a director, and directors will get reported to MDs. The MDs will be called as head of HR for that country. All the region HRs will get reported to a global board member. So this is where a common brief of how the hierarchy will look like. So it is basically 7 levels to become the head of the entire world's HR.
What would be the salary package right from entry level?
That's a good question. So salary
Max.
level for currently for HR professionals would be, it is basically around in India, we start with 3.5 to 4 lakhs per annum. But it goes for a fresher even for 12 lakhs to 20 lakhs based on your prestigious universities that you come from, actually, in my experience.
I'm
Just a little
sorry.
curious on this, Mr. Deepak. When you
Mhm,
say when you come from a different background of universities, or
mhm.
how does that differ when you are getting
Yeah.
into organization? Because there might be students around there, different colleges, they're trying to get into the HR profession. But is there a limitation for them to study in a different college than this great universities around there, which is well known for their names and the producing peoples? What is the way that the other students from a different college which does not have a strong background or a long history, how does that kind of students get into this kind of good pay jobs?
So definitely to answer these questions, give a small actually story for that one. So when a student actually gets a branded shoe like Adidas and get into play, so here the Adidas shoe I just brand would refer to a prestigious organization or a university he's coming from. So only with that Adidas shoes he is just focusing and not on the game. So definitely he'll not become a star player. So
Yes.
definitely, even a Adidas shoes you're wearing or a normal boots you're wearing, your performance matters on the match for sure. We just leave into the hands of the students actually. So once after 12th, actually, if they just wanted to get into a college and do a normal class of study, definitely that is also possible in HR. So once their preparation, they start actually for all the high level entrance examinations in India for the universities, they get their doors opened right from the first day. So it not only belongs to the hands of prestigious institutions, but how you have been studying all through those prestigious institutions, and your result actually matters over there. The starting level might be different actually, where your salary, but when you just cross the step of each level, for each company there is something called as market correction which happens. So in due course of time, when you reach that level, definitely where your salary will match over those top competing universities. That's
Yes.
called as market salary correction, which happens over here.
What I can understand from you, it's not about the college where they study, but it's about the skills what they develop through the college phases and the
Exactly.
time where they step into the profession and the knowledge where they gain day to day. And
Like,
after some point, they reach to a saturation where all of them get into equal stage where your skills, what you've developed so far, helps you to promote to the next stage, right? We just spoke about a little earlier that the invasion of AIs, right? So how do you see this invasion of AIs, and how do you see the role of HR would turn around in the next 5 or 10 years round? How do you think that would turn around the plate of the HR profession?
so the first thing I would always look at it is a healthy growth, I would say. But only thing, like I always take the quotes from Narayana Murthy, Infosys founder actually. So no matter what kind of artificial intelligence or the software development is making, definitely people who have the potential, they will have their work. This is not only with AI in the current scenario. This
Mhm.
been in all the decades with all the industries down the lane, when before all were paper and pen, actually when computers invaded, they were in a shock. Actually, we won't have jobs in the coming days, all the work computers will do. But still the market has been just been broader. So to a limitation, only AI can help. But definitely from a job security perspective, people who have potential and who have willingness to learn will definitely have jobs. And not only it's respect to HR, in any fields I would definitely. So we don't want it to get second thought that AI would go ahead and take over the human works to an extent, but it could be, but not 100%. There will be definitely jobs. Yeah.
Yes, I can also relate to the evolution of this engineering or the artificial intelligence, which is coming up every decade, right? There has been a new invention every time, but of course, it shuts some doors, but you have a big door which is wide open from the other side. I also encourage the students to develop their knowledge with the help of AI so they get to know new things, so they know some other opportunities which is also aligned with this
Yeah.
AI, right?
Yeah. So definitely it will add value to their profile, not take away their jobs.
And then my final question, Deepak, since we have a HR in the seat today, so I just want to use this opportunity. A curious question from our side is like, how do you shortlist a resume? What are the key steps that you see in the resume? The first screening, who does the first screening? And what are the key things you see in a resume? The first thing.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing it be like, I want a crisp resume from an candidate, actually from a student. Actually, we just don't want many things to be just copy pasted from the online websites or whatever with the chat GPT or the AIs. So only thing, when a candidate actually making a resume, he should understand I'm not only going to look at his resume throughout. So there's going to be hundreds of resume. So whichever has been just a little different in terms of look wise. So make sure you make your resume very crisp. And the second important point is, don't put multiple things. Actually, keep in mind, actually the resume, put what you know. Actually, there is no
Mhm.
problem that you don't know anything, because in the course of time you can learn. So when you put the things that you know on the resume, 100 questions being shot by the recruiter, he won't go out of the box of that resume for sure. Actually, so he will ask everything. So it is like the book you're going to give, and he's going to get the questions from there. So how crisp and clear and from your wholeheartedness you're going to put the resume, that is where the percentage of you getting the job into that organizations increases. And also make sure the resume that you give or apply for the position, it is relevant to that. Actually, so suppose if you
Okay.
wanted to do into technology, put your technology wise which you know. If you wanted to put into HR world, what you know about HR, put it. So there the people will go ahead and screen based on accordingly. So these are the criteria that they look. Crisp, clear resume will always hold a high chance of winning the interviews.
So how would a resume reach an organization through any particular platform or directly to the emails of the organization? How a person can approach to the organization with a resume? So how to reach an organization?
So wonderful question. Actually, this holds very great value. So in our days, we didn't had that opportunity to apply for any organization. But with the current technology of internet, actually, every company holds a website, dedicated website for their company. Each internet company portal will have something called as careers. or something related to contact us. So first thing, it will ask for your basic details, and we don't ask the resumes to be uploaded there actually. So once after you fill in the details, a mail will go to their whatever the email address they have given on the portal, and that portal they can go ahead and upload their resumes and all the details, and that resume will go to a dedicated onboarding team actually, who are
Okay.
definitely looking for hundreds of people. So just get into the portal of whichever company you wanted to pursue actually your career, and there is a link called as, there you can just put in their resume, and for sure it is a genuine way to reach a company than to just get into a consultancy and giving money. So I don't prefer on that thing. So get into a direct portal of a company that will help you to reach the company much more faster than the other things. And for experienced persons, actually it comes through a reference or reference portal available actually with a circle. And now with the current scenario, LinkedIn plays a very big role actually in terms of hiring.
Okay.
So you go ahead and apply your resumes, give your key skills. So the AI picks up resumes from LinkedIn for each company. Each company actually looks in LinkedIn for profiles.
Okay.
So from there, actually on the category you give, they pick up the resumes and conduct interviews. So this is what the background looks like.
That's a great insight, Deepak. I think that has a lot of value in it, because when you complete a college, then looking out of a job, then people have this question like, how do I search for a job? Automation has taken over. So just go into the website, find the career page, and just go apply for it. If you're right fit, as Deepak said, your resume is crisp, and if your resume holds a lot of information in it, you have a great potential to get shortlisted, right? That's a great insight, Deepak. Now, I think we have consumed a lot of time than we said, Deepak, but it was a great insight, and he has provided a lot of information around it. And thanks a lot, Deepak, once again. And it's been an honor for us to bring you in the show.
It's my definite pleasure actually to get into the show. It was wonderful talking to both of you and to connecting to the students. And great, thank you.
But I also assume there's a lot of things that needs to be covered. Maybe I'm not sure if we're gonna have another show with Deepak, but for now, that's it. And thanks a lot. Stay tuned. Bye bye.